Eliza's beauty. Within the gentle undulating hills of a little village resided a young lady whose breathtaking beauty was the subject of folklore. Eliza was a vision of ethereal beauty that appeared to defy the limitations of the earthly realm. She had porcelain complexion, raven hair, and mesmerizing emerald eyes. Eliza had been endowed with a glow that enthralled everyone who saw her from the minute she gasped for air. Eliza's attractiveness only increased as she grew older, and the men in the town competed with an almost obsessive zeal for her devotion. Prospective husbands would travel great distances to visit Eliza's family's modest home, bringing expensive presents and declaring their unwavering love in the hopes of securing her hand in marriage. And yet, in spite of all the admiration directed at her, the young lady never wavered in her determination, her heart never faltering in its pursuit of a real and lasting love. Eliza would say, her voice echoing with passion, "I will not be swayed by mere physical attraction. I seek a man who will love me not just for my face but for the depth of my soul, a man who will cherish me as a person, not merely as an object of desire." The villagers admired Eliza for her unchanging morals and were in awe of her fortitude and wisdom in the face of such passionate suitors. Numerous people murmured that she was destined for a destiny much greater than the menial existence of a village maiden, and their prophecies would soon come true in the most surprising of ways. Eliza was gathering wildflowers in the meadow one fateful day when a dazzling procession of knights in armor and elaborate carriages swept into the village, signaling the arrival of the most distinguished guest, Prince Damien, the crown jewel of the kingdom and a man known for his sophisticated sensibilities and dashing good looks. Excitement swept through the villagers as they flocked to the streets in hopes of spotting the dashing prince. Eliza, her interest sparked by the magnificent scene unfolding before her eyes, felt herself attracted towards the ruckus, her heart hammering with an odd mixture of anxiety and intrigue. Upon approaching the prince's carriage, Eliza found herself gasping for air, for there sat a guy whose beauty rivaled hers in strikingness, framed by polished wood and an elaborate gold accent. Prince Damien was the epitome of attractiveness and charm, with his sharp features, piercing blue eyes, and a mane of golden hair that appeared to glitter in the afternoon sun. The carriage continued, but the prince's gaze stayed on Eliza. Eventually, the procession vanished around a corner, leaving the young lady to struggle with intense feelings that seemed to overpower her. That evening, Eliza was sitting by the fireside, her thoughts still spinning after the encounter, when a very surprising guest showed up at her family's door. It was none other than the prince himself, with the barely controlled eagerness that burned in his eyes, scarcely concealed by his regal countenance. "My beautiful woman," Damien said in a gentle, honeyed voice. "I have to admit that ever since I first laid eyes on you, I have been completely enthralled with your beauty. I just have to learn more about you." Eliza was captivated by the prince's fascinating look, her heart racing with a mix of excitement and fear. She had always thought that meeting her Prince Charming would be like a dream come true, filled with pure, unadulterated delight. However, Eliza couldn't help but feel uneasy as Damien's words swept over her, with a niggling suspicion that this wasn't the love she had been looking for. She nevertheless mustered the courage to respond, saying, "Your Highness, I am honored by your interest. However, I have to admit that aside from my lowly beginnings and my steadfast dedication to discovering a love that goes beyond appearances, I don't have much to offer." Damien's brow furrowed just a bit, and Eliza saw something flicker beneath his azure gaze that was both dark and calculated. But the expression disappeared almost as fast, to be replaced by a brilliant smile that seemed to fill the whole space. "Then, my dear, that is a challenge I will gladly accept," the confident-sounding prince said. "For I am a man who is accustomed to getting what he desires, and I desire you, Eliza, with every fiber of my being." Damien said that and then reached out to gently take Eliza's hand, sending a chill down her spine with his touch. The young woman realized at that very moment that her life was about to take an unexpected and possibly